live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
It's a Coach's Conversation. Joel Becker talking with Lee Summit West head coach Vinny Careswell as we move to the 2021 season. And how much of this, feels like you're kind of getting back to normal, and how much feels like we're still in the wacky world of COVID?
Well, last year we only had 60 players on the travel squad and on the sidelines at home. So when we marched down here with 120 players and got in the locker room, it really felt like Titan football of days of old. So it feels more like a real season, and with the fans that are going to be here tonight, the kids are so excited. So I think we're getting back on track with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, having the people here really makes a big difference.
Yeah, and we've got, in my opinion, the best home atmosphere in high school football in Kansas City. And our student body, I cannot wait to see them in the stands tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So what kind of a team are we looking at this year?
Well, if you're talking about Lee Summit West, a good team. We've got a big, strong offensive line. I think that's our strength. We've got a stable of running backs, 3 of them that I think will touch the ball and can really move and get downfield. Our defense is fast. So I think we've got a combination of speed and strength on the offense that is going to make us a really good team.
So with the turf notwithstanding, 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Exactly. So we're going to get after it. And that's going to be our MO. We're going to try to pound the ball and then take our shots downfield.
And what about defensively?
So defensively, as I said, we're fast. We've got 3 solid senior linebackers in Ben Ely, Trey Sweeney, and Wyatt Ramsey, who's a 3-year starter. And then our secondary is phenomenal, speed all around. We got a young front, but I think our linebackers can get them lined up and get them to the quarterback.
So obviously this, starting off with Park Hill, they're generally a pretty good team. It's going to be a tough test.
Well, yeah, last year looking back to the overtime game and the pick by Chase and that overtime, Chase Hammond to win it, they've got a new coach. They've got a different scheme, and to be honest, it's kind of the unknown. We've looked at Coach Sims. He's an excellent coach from his days at Blue Valley North last year. Tried to scout out some film from there, and then we got limited clips from them from their scrimmage. They didn't jamboree. So, Joel, really it's kind of the unknown.
Yeah, I know. I felt that when I was making out my lack of a depth chart, but on their side anyway. But so experience, how much is that going to play into a factor for this year for the Titans?
Yeah, and again, we look back at that experienced offensive line that I talked about, and then we've got key pieces on the secondary that have experience, and we've got a lot of good leaders from that senior class. So I think that's going to play a factor for sure.
So what are the keys tonight for the Titans?
Well, we got to beat the heat, first of all. It's hot out here. We got a breeze. I think wind's going to be a factor in the game. I think ball control by us, and I think filling out their offense, what they're going to do by our defense and being sound is going to be extremely important to start off the game. Special teams is going to be a factor. We've got a new kicker this year, Grayson Hanna. He kicked a few last year, and then Will Peacock will be kicking off. It's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been almost a year, so definitely looking forward to seeing how things go this year. You almost felt like it was like taking a year off almost last year. I mean, we didn't, but it was a strange year, and it's going to be nice to get back to it.
Absolutely. It feels like real football right now.
All right, well, good luck tonight.
Thank you, Joel.
All right, that's Coach Vinny Careswell. I'm Joel Becker, and this is Titans Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit Area High School athletics.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium here in Lee Summit. Joel Becker and Mark Files as the Lee Summit West Titans getting set to take on the Park Hill Trojans to kick things off here in the 2021 season. The teams are out at midfield right now for the coin toss, so we're just a short period of time away for our kickoff. And you heard the coach talking about this 3 yards and a cloud of dust offense that we may see this week.
Well, I'm kind of excited to see it back. I like the ball control. You know, we've talked for, several years about giving the defense a chance to catch their breath. I mean, the Titan offense was exciting. The big play offense is fun, but you got to let your defense be able to do their job, and that means make some good stops, and they can only do it with a lot of rest. And, of course, the heat tonight's going to play into that for both teams.
It really will, and we'll see whether or not the wind does. It's kind of died down a little bit right now, but, it'll come and go. The Trojans won the toss, and they deferred, so we're going to see that 3 yards and a cloud of dust offense. When we come back, the opening kickoff is right around the corner on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Just about set to go here for the opening kickoff. Joel Becker and Mark Files, Lee Summit West and Park Hill, as we get started with the 2021 Class 6 Misha campaign. How many more years do you think the Titans will end up being a Class 6 team?
Oh, they'll be Class 6 until they open a fourth high school, and I have no idea when that's going to happen. They do have a fourth middle school that'll be open this time next year, so have to look at the drawing board. Yeah. That's above my pay grade, sir.
Well, you never know quite what is going to happen as far as that aspect of things is concerned. Looks like Rylan Williams along with Brock Coble going back deep for the Titans. And we're still waiting as Scotty Robertson ready to tee the ball up in the middle of the field here at the 40-yard line to get things going. It was a very hot day today and very humid along with it. I know because it's all in here in the press box.
It is, and it's not just from our hot air.
Titans in the home blues, Park Hill in the road whites with red lettering. And the kick is off, and it will go at the goal line, and he's going to take it out. Coming up the middle of the field, breaks the tackle, 25, 30, 35, and hit and tackled up at about the 46-yard line is Rylan Williams with a great return. I thought it was going to go into the end zone for a touchback, but they must have kept it out by just a half a yard.
I tell you what, I sure thought he was standing there, but again, it's not where he's standing, it's where the ball is.
Right, interestingly, he and Coble almost came together on that. They did actually bump, but Williams came down with it. And so we will see this Titan offense and Caden Heil, who will start things off in the shotgun quarterbacking for the Titans, with twins out on the left side. Surratt behind him in a pistol formation. H-back to the left, and it's a toss to Surratt. Gets a block. He'll go across the 50 into Park Hill territory down to the 45-yard line. A pickup of about 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 on a good run by Surratt. And as the coach was saying, it's the offensive line that's the strength of this team.
Oh, very much so. You look at the size of these kids across the front line. They're huge, plus they're young, and they've been working together hard all summer long.
Dickerson along with Williams, it looks like, are split out on either side. Again, a pistol formation. Surratt trying to go off left tackle again, and he'll push the pile forward. A little shy of a first down, it looks like. A gain of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down and 1 as Jackson Surratt with the first 2 carries. About a half a yard shy of a first down.
Well, Surratt was Thunder last year of Thunder and Lightning, and he is going to get you the tough yards between the tackles, and it's going to be 8, 9 yards, a couple 1-yard runs, and then look out, he'll break those long 25 yards for touchdowns.
Trevor Ford, the tight end, is the H-back, and back to throw on 3rd down, and throwing incomplete. As he gets hit was Heil. Pretty good rush up the middle on a delayed blitz there by Dancher. Coming in from a linebacker position. It's going to set up a 4th down, and it looks like the Titans are going to go for it here. Probably knew that going in, which was why they went for the throw on 3rd down, knowing they only have a half a yard to go. Actually, where they're putting the ball, it's less than a yard, but it's more than a half a yard. Coble split on the left side, along with Williams. And a sneak.
Nice call.
Right up the middle for about 3, and a nice push behind Easton Lewis and the front 3 in the middle. As you mentioned, they're all returning from last year.
And how much better they play as a unit. That's the best part of it right there.
So, moves the chains, 1st and 10, first down for the Titans. We've played a minute and a half here of the first quarter. Opening drive for Lee Summit West. Pistol formation again, Surratt right behind Heil. Man in motion, and they'll give it to Coble, and he's hitting the backfield and taken down. Great penetration and a nice play there by Paris Graves to take him down, and it'll be a loss of about 6. 2nd down and long for the Titans, and of course that's, if you are going to be a running team, that's where your Achilles heel usually is going to be.
Yep.
You can't have runs for losses.
Well, and that play actually there with the Jets sweep, the way they tossed it to the front, counts as a pass. So they're 0 for 2 in the passing game right now.
Well, that was a completed pass.
Yes. Or 1 for 2 with a big loss.
Just a big loss. And now back to throw again, Heil. He's got time. He eludes the rush. He'll rush to the right side. He'll pull it down and run across the 40. Oh, boy, he was hit right as he got to the out-of-bounds marker at the 40. Picks up the loss and then some. It'll be a gain of 7, and it'll be 3rd down about 9 from the 40-yard line. And Heil's certainly a capable runner.
He is very much so. You know, as I watched him last week at the Jamboree over at Green Valley, reminds me of Thomas Gannett, quarterback the state championship team in 2013, with his mannerisms and the way he moves.
Jaden Hines comes in to take the snap here. They fake it to Surratt. Hines with the carry, and not much there. No gain on the play. It'll be 4th and 9. Are they in 4-down territory? Certainly they're out of field goal range.
Oh, most definitely they're in 4-down territory here.
Well, not much point in punting it to gain 20 yards.
Nope.
But that may be what they do. They're sending out.
There's a 4th and 9 for Lee Summit West.
At least they're sending out. Yeah, they're sending out Trey Sweeney in the punting unit. So they're going to presumably go for the coffin corner and give their defense a big field behind them if they can. There's always the possibility of the fake, but well, would you go for a fake on your first punt of the year? And they may take a delay of game call here just to give them a little extra room, interestingly enough.
Another 5 yards never hurt anybody.
Well, in this situation, it might actually make it easier on the punter. So that'll push it back to the 45 of the Trojans. Sweeney standing on his own 40. And interestingly, he was standing on the 40 the whole time, so obviously he knew that was what they were going to do.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens here. And a high snap, and Sweeney pulls it down, kicks it. It is an end-over-end short kick, takes a bit of a Titan bounce inside the 20 down to about the 17. So a little better than a touchback, but we'll see the Trojan offense for the first time. 8:47 to go, first quarter, no score. Lee Summit West and Park Hill. Joel Becker and Mark Files with you on LSW Radio and 810varsity.com. First look at this Trojan offense. And we'll see what kind of an offense they come out with.
A little bit of film that I got to see, they do like to run that spread formation with the shotgun.
Kedrick Bell is their quarterback. He is in the shotgun formation, as you mentioned. Titans look like they may be showing blitz off the corner. 3 down linemen for Lee Summit West. Off an audible. They do come in on the blitz. They throw away from it. It is caught and tackled immediately on the catch by Jake Powell. And pretty good coverage. Ben Ely, I believe, was the one who made the hit. It is a pickup, though, of about 3. 2nd down and 7. Trojans working quickly. And Bell is getting chased. He's hit, and he is sacked. Back at the 11-yard line. Good penetration up the middle for the Titans. And Fosnow was the one with the sack. And it'll set up a 3rd down and long, so the Titans defense looking good in the first couple plays anyway.
Tell you what, I was a little nervous on that
late hit.
Yeah.
3rd down. And about 15 or so, I guess. Shotgun formation for Bell. Back to throw, and they throw flags. I believe we're going to have a false start. Push them back even further. Waiting for the indication from the official here. And false start is the call. Sends them back to the 7, so that'll be 3rd and about 20.
Never like to have your back that close to the end zone.
Got to get to the 27. Well, we'll see if the Titans come after him. Twins on either side from the shotgun. Bell back. He steps up in the pocket. He's being chased. He throws. And on the far side, it's caught, hit, and tackled shy of a 1st down by probably about 2 yards. Pretty good catch over on the far side by Fillion. But it'll set up a presumed punting situation, although they're coming up to the line on offense. Boy, 4th down and 2. Would they really go for it this tight end, or are they just looking? Oh, and they do draw the Titans off sides. Went for that hard count, knowing that they could get themselves a timeout if they needed it, and the Titans give up their first down on a penalty. Well, that's first game jitters for you right there.
It is, and If my intel's correct, we got some youngins starting on the defensive line. So
we do.
A little excited. Got a couple sophomores out there.
And they jumped all on the right side of the line, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 31. I wonder if they really would have run a play. I don't think so. Bell looks back toward the sideline looking for a play. Play clock is down to 0. Are they going to call a timeout here? They did get the timeout in before the delay of game, so we'll get a whistle. One thing about us being here, they've redone the press box here at Lee Summit West. It's nice. After 15 years, we got ourselves an elevator here.
We do.
And it works and everything.
It has its ups and downs, but it gets us where we want to go.
And, yeah.
Yeah, what they've done is, if you haven't been over here by the high school yet, is that they added a third story.
Yeah, second floor.
Second floor on top of the press box. It's a video deck. The West coaches are all up there.
I wonder if this timeout will count as the water break, too, by the way. Sorry to interrupt. Because the first 4 weeks, usually they
do a water break.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a little further into the half. But
normally it's halfway in each of the quarters. Yep. And that's about where we are, 6:31. But they may do another one. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, getting back to the press box, the one thing though that where we are is where the coaches used to be.
That's right.
Which means we can't look over and see them getting really upset about the guys jumping off sides like we used to be able to.
Yeah, jumping off sides and in the good old days where they would get a little loud. They don't get loud anymore. They're
of course not.
Composed and so yeah, we miss them. It's quiet down here. I tell you, the guys.
You can see the guys running the clock. Yeah.
The guys keeping the clock. They're happy. They got plenty of room over there.
Yeah.
By the way, we're supposed to let Jeff Reed know the new guy's doing a great job.
Okay.
Jeff, get back on your feet, man. We miss you.
So it'll be 1st and 10 after the timeout for Park Hill on their first offensive drive. Would have gone 3 and out, but the Titans jumped on 4th and 2 and gave them a first down. Jet sweep. A little bit of a hit from behind there, but no flag comes out. It'll be a gain of a couple on the run by P.J. Caldwell. And it'll set up a second down. Let's call it 7 from there.
Everybody loves that front toss jet sweep.
Yeah, it's a good way to pad the quarterback stats.
It is.
As far as completion percentage is concerned. Twins on either side for Bell. One man in the backfield. Jets again with 3 down linemen and several linebackers, we'll put it that way. Play clock down to 5 as Bell back to the shotgun formation. Takes the snap. He's looking right side. Now he'll pull it down. He's hitting the backfield and taken down for a sack. Back around the 30-yard line. They'll probably give him the 31. It'll negate the original gain and set up a 3rd and 10.
He had a few folks in there greeting him.
Titans have had good penetration, but at the same time, it's really been coverage more than anything else. He's had the time to throw.
Well, and I like the way the guys are getting off the ball on the front line. I mean, they're showing their enthusiasm for sure. And a night like tonight, conditioning's going to play big, and so you're going to have to be rotating a lot of guys through there.
No question. 3rd down and 10. Again, they go with twins on either side. One man in the backfield. Now a man in motion toward an H-back position. Bell back to throw. He's looking over the middle. He's got a man that's hit and tackled after the catch by James Noel, but not much there. And it'll set up a 4th down and still a punting situation. 4th and about 7 at the 34.
Ramsey played that well. Stayed home, read the screen, and was right where he was supposed to be.
Hopefully they won't jump off sides, although this time they could do it twice. Or at least they could do it once without giving up a first down anyway. Looks like Williams is back deep, and we do get a flag. This time it's a false start on the Trojans. Now that was not done intentionally to give the kicker an extra, unless he's a way better punter than I think.
I'm trying to figure out, is that breeze? I guess it is still blowing out of the south, isn't it? Looking at the flag down at the north end of the field.
Yeah, it's been a little windy. High snap, and he steps into the punt, line drive. Williams fair catch called and made. Actually, I take that back. That was actually Brian Haney taking a time out from his job as the KU broadcaster to they spell their names differently if you're wondering.
Yes, they do.
Being way over here in Missouri, I doubt he gets much guff about that.
No. Well, he might. There are a few KU fans.
All right, so we get a second look at the Titan offense.
Tell you, it's been fun trying to get all the kids and their jersey number changes this year.
Yeah, there have been a few. Heil back in from the shotgun this time. And it is Surratt on the zone, on the read option. He was given the ball and gains over right tackle about to the 40, a pickup of, let's call it 3, second down and 7.
Surratt didn't have much of an opportunity to get north-south and get his shoulders turned. He was having to hop, skip, and find a hole to go into.
I was going to say, after the first couple of runs where he had some pretty big holes to run through, the line is having a little bit more trouble. And they'll give it to Surratt again up the middle, this time a little bit more. They'll mark him down at the 44. He'll still be shy of a first down, maybe the 45. So let's call it 3rd down and 2.
That's what Surratt's best at, is just giving the ball, let him go north and south. Don't make him, work too far to the sidelines going east and west, and he'll get you those big yards.
He'll step back into the pistol this time on 3rd and 2. The throw, and it is caught. Coble, and across midfield down to the 43 or 44. Let's call it the 43 of the Trojans. Second time, 2 straight drives into Trojan territory. 1st and 10 for the Titans.
Nice job on the pass downfield. He got his feet set.
Fumble on the give through, but Johnny on the spot, Coble able to fall on it. It was a give to Surratt. They worked quickly after getting the first down, came up to the line and did a run right up the middle, and then Surratt just dropped the ball, but luckily right to Brock Coble.
Wow.
It'll end up going as a gain of 6. Pistol formation, twins on either side. Now a man in motion is Coble, and they fake on the give, rolling to the left, throwing, and incomplete. Looks like the intended receiver, Dickerson, fell down or was knocked down. But either way, he wasn't running to the ball, and so it falls harmlessly incomplete. It'll set up a 3rd down, about 4.
He did a nice job of getting rid of that ball and putting it in a place where nobody could catch it, because there was really nobody open when after Dickerson fell down.
Actually, Coble was open.
Back on the backside?
On the he was the original, they faked to him, and then he sort of went out into a kind of swing route, and he had a step. It wouldn't have been the easiest throw in the world, but at any rate, from the pistol to give Surratt. He sidesteps one guy, still on his feet, hit and tackled. Close to a first down. Looked like he got it, but we'll see on the mark. Originally, I thought he had it, but now he may be a little bit shy. They may have to, I think they're going to measure. And eyeballing it, I would say he is shy by about maybe a foot, which will give the Titans a chance to decide what they're going to do. This would be the time they could do their little water break.
Tell you what, Joel, I think it's going to be closer than what we both think it is.
Yeah. Looks like he got it.
Got it by the nose of the football, half of football.
1st and 10 Titans. Well, if it is that water break, it went right by pretty quick.
Yeah, it did.
2:02 left to go in the first quarter. Scoreless game so far. Titans on the move, though. 1st and 10 from the Trojan 33. Caden Heil from a pistol formation, directing traffic as he sends his receivers out to the left side. Surratt is behind him. He'll toss it to Jackson. Broke one tackle, finds some room on the left side. He's forced out of bounds inside the 30, down about the 27. A good run by Surratt. We'll pick up 6 or so. Let's call it 2nd and 4.
Good old-fashioned student body left. Moved the receivers over there and gave Surratt a nice seal wall there, and he worked his way to the sidelines.
They'll send the Twins out on the right side this time. They continue work with an H-back, this time on the right as well. And on the stutter step, Surratt goes left side, and he breaks a tackle, gets across the yard to gain and then some into about the 21. It'll be 1st and 10 Titans. Just outside the red zone at the 21.
Tell you what, Mr. Surratt knows what he's in for, but he doesn't know what he's in for. This, carrying the ball at the Class 6 level for a full 9-game season in the regular season, he's going to get his work cut out for him.
Think we'll see much of David Mayo as a change of pace?
Yeah, I think you will, especially with the way the heat is tonight, just to give Surratt a chance to catch his breath.
Not so far. Here's Jackson again up the middle. Spins across the 20 down to the 19. It'll be a pickup of a couple, 2nd down and 8. Clock running with 1:20 left to go in the quarter. Scoreless game so far. Titans and Park Hill Trojans to kick off this 2021 campaign.
Game of play makes it 2nd and 8, Lee Summit West.
Coble comes back in the game to be the slot receiver on the right side,
You know,
along with Dickerson.
Sorry about that, Joel. The best part about Surratt is when he's running the ball, the more he runs, the stronger he gets.
He is in the pistol behind Heil. 2nd down and 8. And on the delayed give, Surratt up the middle. He bounces off a tackle, still on his feet, inside the 10, down to the 5, pushed out of bounds at about the 3. Jackson Surratt, like you said, getting stronger as he goes. And it'll be 1st and goal Titans.
Great run and stability on the feet. He took the hit, bounced off, and worked his way to the far sidelines to get as much as he could. Got outside the numbers. Like the effort.
You know, in the past, the Titans have always had, jumbo packages for this sort of thing. With the kind of offense they have, I wonder whether or not they'll even feel like they need to do that much down here.
Is that Mayo that's in
right
now?
Mayo's going to take
the
snap
Wildcat?
here. Yeah, on the Wildcat. And a man in motion, and it is Coble. They fake to him. Mayo up the middle, dives toward the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Titans. David Mayo from 3 yards out. And with a half a minute left to go here in the first quarter, the Titans strike first. They lead it 6-0 with the extra point to come.
Nice read by Mayo coming in off the bench. Did a nice job with the jet sweep across in front of him, faked it, went right in behind his guard and tackle and got the score.
And the Superman dive.
Exactly.
Grayson Hanna for the extra point out of the hold of Abercrombie. Snap back, ball down, kick up, high, long, and it is good. 33 seconds left to go in this first quarter. The Titans on top. They lead at 7-0. Kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area high school athletics.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium here in Lee Summit. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West, and Park Hill. Titans on top, 7-0. And it wasn't exactly the Andy Reid script. It was one series late, but that is exactly what I think Vinny Careswell would like to see out of the offense, throughout the year.
Ball control is beautiful. You break the game up into the 4 quarters, and as far as time of possession goes, the Titans have done a great job here in the first quarter of consuming the time.
Will Peacock, doing the kickoff duties for the Titans, has the ball teed up right at the middle of the field at the 40-yard line. Kicking maybe just a bit into the wind to finish off this quarter, and it is a relatively short high kick taken at about the 13. Coming up the far side, hit and tackled, and the ball did look well. Somebody thought it came loose, but it didn't. On the return by James Noel to the 21, maybe 22. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans from there.
Nice job by the coverage team, getting downfield, staying in their lanes. That's how you prevent those fast runners, receivers that Park Hill has from breaking the seam and going. They have always had those big return guys.
Definitely with 2 different styles of offense, with Park Hill throwing on most downs and the Titans running. They've got trips out to the left, one to the right. Bell was in the shotgun, steps up to the line, and now he'll step back after telling his front 5 what he wants them to do. On 1st and 10 from the 22, it is a give up the middle, breaking 1 tackle and a couple of tackles across the 30 up to the 36. A good run by James Noel. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans, a gain of about, 15 or so, maybe 14.
Noel did a nice job of keeping his shoulders squared in that north-south running that I referred to, and just kept bouncing off of guys till he got to the last place and protected that ball and went down.
See if they want to run another play. They don't have to in this quarter, but they do. Back to throw. Bell, he is going to roll out to the right side, throwing right side, and it is caught. Looks like up at a 43-yard line. Pretty good catch on the play and staying in bounds by Marquise Bell. And that's going to finish out the first quarter of play. 2nd and 4 when we come back. Titans on top, 7-0 is our score here from Titan Stadium. Second quarter after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backcourt Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back live here at Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West, and Park Hill. Titans on top of the Trojans, 7-0 after 12 minutes of football. 1 quarter in the books. Can we just finish the season now? We won.
I'm all about that.
Doesn't work like that?
Doesn't work like that.
Can't go out on a high note?
No, because we don't have our Misha PSAs in there for the playoffs and the state championship yet.
No, this is it, state championship. Just take it after 1 quarter.
1 and done, just do it.
The Trojans punted on their first offensive possession. This is their second as they switch ends. 2nd down, about 4 from their own 43. Kedrick Bell from the shotgun, and the throw over the middle, or in the slot I should say, is caught. Good for a 1st down, just shy of midfield to P.J. Caldwell, playing kind of a slot tight end position. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 49, working quickly the Trojans. Quick snap, and again a throw up the seam, same play, same receiver, and Caldwell with another catch, good for about 6, maybe 7. Let's call it 2nd down and 3. Hurry up offense right now for the Trojans. They get up to the line quick, and they'll give it Noel, and he'll get a 1st down. to the 40-yard line, going off left tackle or left guard. And the Trojans think they found something here on this quick work. Takes the snap and a give again. Noel up the middle. This time he hits a wall. Picks up about 3, and that's as far as he'll get to the Titan 37.
Coach Sims, that's one of his MOs. He likes to play fast. His goal is to get as many snaps as he can in a game. And you do that by getting the line and going.
Bell from the shotgun. And the give. Looking up the middle again, Noel. He'll get to the 35, maybe the 34. Set up a third down, about 5 from there.
Handoff once again to James Noel.
Presumably in 4-down territory are the Trojans here, and they'll take their time at least for this.
Brings up 3rd and 5, Leaf Park Hill.
Just underway here in the second quarter of play. 10.5 minutes to go in the half. Third down, about 5, a short 5, closer to 4 really. Bell from the shotgun. Noel will take the give up the middle. He was hit at the line and taken down for a gain, a really no gain. Sweeney, a great play there coming off the linebacker position to fill the gap. And they'll go quickly here on 4th down and 4. See if they try and draw him offside again. They did, but this time the Titans don't bite. They've got twins on either side. Noel to the right of Bell. Back to throw. He's looking right side, throwing down the field right side. It is incomplete.
Yep.
There was some contact.
Yep.
And it looks like we're going to get a pass interference call, although you never know. It could go either way. Waiting for the indication from the official. Pass interference, offense against the Trojans. Going for the push-off. So the Titans should decline that and take the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's 4th down play. And that is what they will do. And take over on their own 34. Although, interestingly, offensive pass interference is a horrible penalty in the high school level. I think it's, isn't it 15 yards?
Yes.
Yeah. But you still would be giving them a chance. But you could. I mean, you could say, hey, what's the likelihood he'll get that 15 yards back?
Well, yeah, exactly.
But take the ball. Like you
all
said,
day long.
It's
Take
possession.
The ball and go put another touchdown on the board.
See if they can't do that coming off their scoring drive. Looks like Brock Coble is out. No, I take that back. He is out too. But it is Surratt on the give, and it was Harden who took the snap. I don't know if this is like one of those planned things. If you remember, the B.J. Jackson takes a a second quarter series or something.
Oh, most definitely. You got both those kids that can play quarterback, so you want to make sure that they're getting their fair snaps.
So Jamison Harden into quarterback, presumably for this whole series. Surratt gained about 7 on the run off the right side. He is in the pistol again, and he'll take the snap, has hit in the backfield. And this time he was taken down. Pretty good penetration again by Paris Graves. And that's happened a few times to the Titans. They've had, they've been able to open up holes, but they've also allowed a lot of penetration. And usually Surratt has been able to make the guy miss and then able to get some, pretty good gains out of it. But when he doesn't, then again, like I said before, that's a pretty big Achilles heel for a running team, is when you get runs for losses.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a stunting going on, and the guys have just got to work with the line coaches to get that figured out so they know what the call is.
Harden from the pistol. 3rd down and 5. Twins on either side. And back to throw. He tries to set up a screen. He makes the complete pass, but a great defensive play by Lauren White, and he just hung on, wouldn't let go. It'll go down as a loss of about 4 in a punting situation for the Titans. It was a decent throw. He had to bobble it. I mean, he didn't have to, but he did bobble it. And that really is what prevented much of anything from going on.
Yeah, that screen just didn't develop the way they wanted it to. Nobody bought it. Park Hill had that one figured out.
Sweeney standing back at his own 20. The punt, deep line drive punt's going to go over the head of the returner.
Nice.
Inside the 10, down to about the 7. What a great punt by Sweeney. Pushes the Trojans all the way back inside their own 10.
That's a big field position win right there. Sweeney with that knuckleball punt. Those are tough to catch, even when you're underneath them.
Well, P.J. Caldwell was the deep man, and he just, if you remember, of course, in the first quarter, they were punting into the wind a little bit. And so he misjudged where that ball was going to go, and it just went right over his head. I don't know, as it looks like we're going to get the official water break timeout now, with 7:37 left to go in the first half. But yeah, he couldn't have laid a finger on it anyway.
Oh yeah. Airmailed it over his head, that's for sure. Hey,
and what worked out really well is it didn't quite have enough momentum to take it all the way into the end zone.
Exactly. Now, while we got a break here, let's say hey to Coach Parks, who is off-site tonight on assignment, getting himself back, feeling healthy. And, Coach, hope you're enjoying the broadcast, and we will talk to you next week for sure.
Hopefully in the comfort of his air conditioning, unlike up here in the press box.
Knowing Coach Parks, it'll be an ice box.
Upstairs, oddly enough, where it's an open air feel, which is probably going to be cold by November, is probably a nicer today than it is where we are here.
I'll take the hot sweat box tonight, knowing that November's coming, and it'll be nice and toasty in here when it gets cold at the end of the season.
See what the Titans defense can do here. Hedrick Bell standing at his own 3 from the shotgun to take the snap. 1st and 10. Ball's on the 7. He's got receivers on either side and one man in the backfield, which is Noel. And he will roll to the left, looking for room, throwing left side. It's intercepted, picked off by the Titans, and there's a flag down. It's down inside the 10 on the interception. By Fosnow, I believe, who got it.
Procedure.
And the penalty against the Trojans, so it'll go down as it was an illegal formation. And so the interception will stand, and the Titans 1st and 10, 1st and goal, in fact, inside the 10-yard line at about the 8.
Chase Hammond picking up where he left off last year, making the big plays.
Is that Hammond who picked that off?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good for him. Like you said before, last year was the hero.
Yes, early in the season, Chase had a way of being in the right place at the right time. Ray Peck was one of the ball games that he made some big plays to really change the momentum and get the early win.
Overtime interception sealed it for us. And we get a flag. Is this delay of game?
Illegal substitution.
Or 12 people?
Flag on the play.
We had 12 on the field.
Yeah.
There.
Couldn't count. Everybody was so excited after the interception. So that'll turn a 1st and goal from the 9 to a 1st and goal from the 14. If they were the Chiefs, it would make it easier.
That's right. Give them more room to work in the end zone. Give some receivers some space to work.
Harden is still in at quarterback from the pistol and a give. And it is right side Mayo. And not much there. Trying to get around right tackle.
David Mayo for a short gain for the Titans.
Maybe half a yard or so. We'll call it 2nd and goal from the 13. Mayo comes out and Surratt comes back in along with Coble. In for the fullback Sims.
Mayo was looking more than he was running. He needed to get to the numbers and get upfield and get what he could. Take the action to the defense.
He was hoping for a hole to open, which never materialized. Harden back to throw. Oh, he is hitting the backfield and taken down. He tried to get around it. He saw the guy coming, which is Kyle Netherton. For a sophomore, pretty good push right up the middle there for Netherton.
Yes, sir.
And he wouldn't let go of his leg. Thought that he was going to be able to escape, but he didn't.
The old single leg takedown.
Well, he needed to get rid of the ball one way or another, and he wasn't outside the tackles. Not that matters anyway in high school, but he could have thrown it out of the back of the end zone, for example. So 3rd down and a ton, and there's flags. Presumably a false start. And this after the interception, this entire series has just been going backwards for the Titans. They may have taken themselves out of field goal range at this point.
Yes, sir.
And they may be in just simple 4-down territory. The ball's at the 28. It would be roughly a 45-yard field goal. I have no idea what kind of leg Grayson Hanna has in terms of whether that's in his range or not. This is, game 1, so he did kick a little bit last year, but not any 45-yard tries.
No.
Maybe they can get at least some yards here. I don't know if that's how they'll play it or not. They've got trips on the left, one man on the right, pistol formation with Surratt in the backfield. And a throw on the far side. Boy, climbing right over the back of the intended receiver there, Dickerson, but it's incomplete. And it doesn't look like they think that Hanna has the leg because they don't seem to be going to a field goal formation. No point in punting from the 28.
Well, I understand trying to get a pass downfield to pick up some extra yards, but it also stopped the clock. And if you're in the ground and pound mode and controlling the clock in this scenario, I wouldn't have been upset to see 2 runs back to back.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, the first one might have gotten you back into field goal range.
You bet.
We'll see if they go for the end zone here on 4th down. On play action, and he does escape one guy, and a throw over the middle. He's got a man, and it is caught. Touchdown, Titans. Dickerson, as Harden just laid it up there. And Drew Dickerson jumped over everybody and came down with it.
That's what I said. Run the ball, run the clock. That's why we're sitting here, my friend.
Obviously, the strategy there was to lose 25 yards and then throw up a prayer that was answered.
Give them more room to work in the pass pattern, right?
Well, Grayson Hanna is a lot easier job kicking an extra point from the 10. I'm sure they have the right number of people on the field. They're trying to get this all taken care of. You'd hate to have to take a timeout here. Play clock is down to 10, so there's still plenty of time. Out of the snap of Greer, puts it down, and the kick is good. So, with 5:32 left to go here in the first half, Titans strike for a second time. They cash in on the interception, and it is 14-0. Kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Rose Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area high school athletics.
Back live here at Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files and Lee Summit West with a 14-0 lead over Park Hill. 5.5 minutes left to go in the first half, and I can just see it right now with Sterling and Vinny just, behind closed doors talking about offensive strategies. So what we want to do here is allow a guy to come straight up the middle, try a shoestring tackle on our quarterback and miss, and then just have him wing one up there where our guy can come down with it.
Does that count as one of Sterling's trick plays?
I don't think so. Touchback on the kick from Peacock, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 20.
Special teams has done a nice job tonight on controlling the field position and keeping the field tilted away for the Trojans as far as being close to their touchdown.
They really have, and of course, you know, you can say that punt was really indirectly what led to this touchdown, because that set up a situation where they felt like they had to move Bell out to his left because they were probably worried about a potential sack and safety in that kind of situation. He ends up throwing an interception, trying to throw on the move, and so on. He's under center this time for the first time. Out of a running formation, single back, actually ran into his running back, and Noel dropped for a loss. Pretty good penetration that time once again is Chase Hammond coming in making a play.
Another big play.
A couple of yards of loss down to the 18, 2nd down and 12. But that really was blown up when the quarterback and running back bumped into each other on the handoff.
Yeah, the timing was not good. The mesh point was crushed.
Second down. Back to the shotgun formation. Twins on the left, one on the right. One in the backfield. From the shotgun, looking right side now. He'll turn, trying to run, and is hit and tackled. Maybe a half a yard gain on the play as Grant Swan on the right side of the defensive line closed up in a hurry. I believe that was intended to be a quarterback draw as he looked to the right, I think, just to throw off the defense, and then ran to the left. It'll be 3rd and 11 from their own 19. Clock running with 15 left to go here in the half. Titans with 3 down linemen. From the shotgun, Bell, he's being chased, throws. He got his tight end coming up the sideline, and he will get a 1st down across the 30 to the 34 as Jake Powell found himself a hole.
He did, and I'll tell you what, yes, it was a big gain for Park Hill, but I really like the way the secondary, including the linebackers, are communicating on the formations. Who are we covering? Who do I got? Who do you have? And that time, Powell just got out on an island, and it was a foot race, and Sweeney did his best to chase him down and knock him out.
Number 87 looking very Kelsey-like.
Very much so.
In that particular play.
Very good play by Powell there.
1st and 10 from their own 34. Bunch formation on the left, and we're going to get a timeout. They took way too long in the, no, they're just going to, are they going to take the, yeah, they've taken the delay of game penalty. Wow. You don't usually see that in the first half. They're usually willing to burn a timeout rather than take the 5, especially after a play like that.
Sure.
You don't want to put yourself in a 1st and 15 hole. But for whatever reason, they took way too long in the huddle. When they came out, it was not even close.
You know, it makes you wonder if Powell might have had a hard time catching his breath after that long run.
Could be. Normally in that situation, you come off. Bunch formation to the left. Back to throw. And Bell will throw left side. Oh, he had a wide open receiver as Noel, but he tripped as he threw one way, he was going the other way, tried to turn around and tripped over his own feet. I don't think he was going to be able to catch it anyway.
No.
And it'll be 2nd down and about 15 from there. On the incomplete pass ball, just shy of the 30-yard line, about the 29. Clock stopped with 3:50 left to go in the first half. Titans on top, 14-0. A run and a pass into the end zone for Lee Summit West. Empty backfield this time for Bell. Noel is in the slot on the left side. Crowd tries to whoop it up and get, and I think they're going to get another timeout. Yeah, they were running out of time as they were trying to get the play called. And this time, the Trojans were willing to burn a timeout.
on a clock that was already stopped, which is, not when you want to burn timeout, but that's what you got to do to get your play off.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was the play clock that was about to run out, obviously, but yeah, I mean, that would have been the second time in this series that they'd ended up being 2nd and 20 off of 2 delay of game penalties had they not burned a timeout. But either way,
the Titans, going back to that last play, it was an incomplete pass, but what they're running is that 3-3 stack defense with 5 defensive backs. Oklahoma. And they go with those 5 defensive backs. And where is your weakness in that defense? Well, it's right on the hash marks on both sides of the field. And Bell was trying to hit Noel in that hash, but he just overthrew it.
Yeah.
The Titans are playing man under. They're playing a 2 deep safeties, playing halves on the zone coverage there.
So still 2nd and 15 after the timeout.
After the timeout, it's 2nd and 15 for the Trojans.
We've got Trips on the left, Twins on the right. Now Noel goes back into the backfield to the left of Bell in the shotgun. 2nd down play, back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. He'll throw over the middle. He's got a man. It is overthrown, incomplete, off of the hands of Grauberger. And tried to get to that second interception. Couldn't quite catch up to it. There is a flag down, and it is against the Trojans, I believe, a hold. Not sure whether they'll take it or not. I imagine they will. No, it's an illegal man downfield. I'm not sure I would have taken that, to be honest. It's 2nd and 20 now after the penalty. It would have been 3rd and 15. You could go either way on that.
Yeah.
Now the yard marker says 3rd down, but I think it's 2nd because of the penalty. Yeah, it is 2nd down. Now they changed the marker. 2nd down and 20. Empty backfield again. Bell back to throw. He'll throw left side. It's intercepted again. Hammond again. This could be a pick 6 down the far sideline. To the 10, to the 5. Touchdown. Touchdown Titans. Chase Hammond with his 2nd pick. This time takes it to the house.
There he is. Does the homework during the week. Does the blue-collar effort of working hard at practice. Reads the scout report. Watches the film. And is right where he's supposed to be, makes a great catch, and takes it to the house, as you described. Love those kind of plays by the defense.
Grayson Hanna out to tack on the extra point. Greer with the snap, Abercrombie with the hold. To make it 21-0. Snap is high, he gets it down, the kick is up, and it is good. 3:34 left to go here in this first half of play. The Titans with a 21-0 lead over the Trojans from Park Hill. Back with a kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Ackport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
We are back live at Titan Stadium in Lee Summit. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West on top of Park Hill. Titans 21-0 over the Trojans. On a couple of interceptions turned into touchdowns. This one was a direct pick 6. The other one, they took their time but still managed to somehow get it into the end zone.
I'm going to credit the defensive play on that ball control offense this week in the first half. The kids are fresh.
Yeah.
They're sitting there. They're able to read their assignments and do what they've got to do to make the big plays.
Will Peacock with the ball teed up on the 40-yard line right in the middle of the field with the wind at his back, although it's kind of died down as the sun's coming down. He'll step into this one. He kicks it, and it will be taken at the 2. On the right side, up the right hash, breaking one tackle to the 20, but no further than that. Good coverage by the Titans, and an okay return by Noel. And so the Trojans will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20, which would have made it a lot easier if you just would have let the ball go.
If it had rolled in the end zone.
Oh, it would have gone in the end zone.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Well, the rules aren't the same in high school as they are in you know, gone are the days in the NFL where you had that just free ball.
Yeah.
Sitting in the end zone that anybody could jump on. So the Trojans offense with 3.5 minutes left to go, plenty of time, although they only have one timeout left. Empty backfield for Bell. He looks left side and he'll throw over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Jake Powell. Missed him with the pass, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice job by Sweeney of being right there in Powell's hip pocket.
We talked a little bit, but only briefly, about the fact that this Trojan team is having to get used to a new head coach in Andy Sims. It's times like these that it's going to be toughest.
It is.
Trying to work with the plays. Play clock down to 7. From the shotgun, Bell. Play clock at 2. Takes the snap and hands off. Bell trying to go up the middle. He bounced off his own tackler, and then he breaks the tackle up to the 30 and knocked down Grauberger along with Terrell Woods. You got to give Woods a lot of credit coming from a defensive end position to finish off the tackle. I mean, it was a gain, though, of 14 or 13, I guess. 1st and 10. Clock is running with 3:05 left to go in the half. That is a play that should not have gained 13 yards, though.
It was a nice run by Noel.
And on the zone read, he'll get it again. Breaks another tackle, goes up the right side, and gets up to midfield. Pretty good open field tackle there to save that going any further by Jordan Dooley. But he still gets up to midfield. 1st and 10 from the 50. Clock running with 2:40 left to go. Trips on the left side. One man on the right. One man in the backfield. Bell will give it again. And Noel up the middle this time. Only gains about 3 or 4 to the 46. And it'll be 2nd and 6.
Tell you what, don't sleep on these Trojans, man. Noel's a great little running back, and they do want to move that ball on offense, and they're not giving up. They're hustling hard.
Game clock down under 2:05 left to go. 2nd down. Titans show blitz. They come, they throw. It's caught, but tackled immediately. Good open field tackle that time by Grauberger on Max Fillion. It'll set up a 3rd down and short, 3rd and about 2. Down to 1:45 left to go. Trips on the left. Trying to get a little louder here. Bell from the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's got time. Rolls right. Now he'll pull it down. He's going to run it. He'll get the 1st down. And into the 35. And I believe they're going to stop the clock to move the chains with 1:29 left to go. It's only the one timeout for the Trojans, but still plenty of time. So the clock gets going again. Bell, and on the zone read, he missed a one tackle in the backfield, but then he's taken down right at the line of scrimmage by Wyatt Ramsey. It'll set up a 2nd and 10. We're down to 1:07 left to go. Clock is running. Trips on the left, one on the right, one man in the backfield. Bell works on a relatively long count as the clock ticks down. Takes the snap. He's looking left side. He's got time. He throws left side toward the end zone, and it is intercepted. taken down at the 5-yard line. It was not Hammond that time. It was Brian Haney. A little bit of contact, but it was both of them kind of jockeying for position. And Bell just sort of threw it up for grabs, and Haney came down with it.
That he did. And
third interception of the half.
I was trying to figure out if Haney was trying to stay in the end zone.
Yeah, I don't know
or if
why.
he was trying to get away.
I was going to say, I don't know why he didn't just drop down.
It was a great play by the receiver to force him out and just ride him out to get him inside the 10-yard line and keep him right there.
It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 6 for the Titans. There's only 40 seconds left, and the good news is that the Trojans can only stop the clock once, so they can pretty much just kneel it out here if that's what they want to do. They may run the ball, I don't know. But it looks like they're going to go in the victory formation. And they'll take a knee. The Trojans could make them snap it again if they want to. Doesn't look like they will. So it looks like we're going to go to the first half locker rooms with the Titans on top, 21-0. And a glad hand from the crowd for the first time in a year. Playing in front of a home crowd for this Lee Summit West team. As the clock ticks down, 5 seconds. And that'll do it. So we have played one half of football here from Titan Stadium. Titans lead it 21-0 over Park Hill. Back with halftime festivities coming up after this on Lee Summit West Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
The year was 1881, and young Reuben Baylor was making his way along near the Missouri River, finding work when he could and living the only life he knew. But when he come on old Arliss Height, beat to hell and near shot to death, Rube done what he could for him. He didn't know that act of kindness was going to wind up changing his whole life, but it did. Green as grass, Rube was a long way from being any kind of pistolier or shootist, but when Marshal Marion Daniels come on him and needed help with the Duncan bunch for what they'd done to Arliss, that tussle growed Rube up right quick. He stopped drifting, found friends worth looking up to, and a young woman that was right admirable.
Deer Run Trail by David Lewis. Available as an e-audiobook at audible.com.
All right, I got a message for you. Radio is the way to go if you want to advertise. Targeting your customers, any shape or size. Radio is a perfect way to tell them who and where you are. They listen at work, they listen at home, and you got them in that car. You've got to go with radio when you want to advertise. Here we go, watch me now. Hard rock and soft rock and easy listening too. Up and down the dialer formats just for you. Country, classic, talk, and gospel stations. Every market across the land has got a station for your situation. The cost is low, and radio is theater of the mind. You can present your information with imagination. If you want to get your message across, get your message across the airways with radio. Call them. They will come right over. Remember, you got to go with radio when you want to advertise. There are lots of stations just your size.
As time goes by, life seems to get more and more hectic. If you'd like to escape for a moment, the good old days are alive and well on the internet at heartlandmemories.com. At heartlandmemories.com, nationally award-winning writer David Lewis brings you memories of his life and times in the heartland of America. David's vocal style and masterful storytelling can often weave laughter and tears in the same tale, with his poignant and humorous recollections of days past. There was a time when we didn't Twitter, tweet, and email. That time is still doing fine at heartlandmemories.com. Canoe whitewater, beat the sun to the top of the hill, play baseball, jump in a pond with a horse, have Christmas dinner with Aunt Myrna, meet some real old-timers. You can. It's not too late. Spend a little time with David Lewis at heartlandmemories.com. Relax for a while. The good old days are waiting for you.
Welcome back out here to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files as Lee Summit West is taking on Park Hill for this opener in the 2021 Class 6 Misha season, leading at 21-0 as our halftime scores. We're waiting for the band to get set to go, and we'll have that for you. In the meantime, Mark, I think, has some halftime stats.
I do. Total offense, this will surprise you. Park Hill has 119 yards. Lee Summit West has 94. Number of plays, Park Hill's run 29, Lee Summit West has run 26. Yards per play for Park Hill, 4.1. They've got 68 yards of passing. They are 9 of 15 through the air, averaging 7.6 yards per pass. No touchdowns and 3 interceptions, a big difference in this ball game. They have 51 yards on the ground. Most of those were there right at the end of the second quarter. 14 attempts. They're averaging about 3.6 yards a carry. As for the Titans, they have 31 yards through the air. Most of those came on that 24-yard touchdown pass there in the second quarter. They are 4 of 7. They're averaging 7.8 yards per pass. They do have the 1 touchdown. They've got 63 yards on the ground. They've run it 19 times. For the Titans, again, the big story of the first half is the turnovers by the Trojan offense. There's 3 of them in the air. The Titans have punted twice. Sweeney's averaging 40.5 yards per punt. And the time of possession, Park Hill's had the ball 12 minutes and 6 seconds, and the Titans have had the ball 10 minutes and 59 seconds.
Those punting numbers actually can't be underlooked, so to speak, because they really helped lead to one of the 3 Titan scores.
The leaders for Park Hill is, of course, James Noel with 55 yards on 9 attempts. He's averaging 6.1 yards per attempt. And then Kendrick Bell through the air, 9 of 15 for the 68 yards. For the Lee Summit West Titans, Jamison Harden is 2 of 3 for 24 yards and the 1 touchdown. Caden Hill is 2 for 4 for 7 yards. Surratt leads the team with 53 yards on the ground on 11 attempts. He's averaging 4.8 yards per carry.
All righty, so now for your entertainment, Lee Summit West's halftime band.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Titan Pride Marching Band.
I guess that's it. That's as much band as we get for today.
Release of the West Music Department on Twitter and Instagram.
Still pretty nice.
It is.
And the color guard at Titan Pride Color Guard.
And like I said, it's been a year waiting for them to get a chance to play in front of somebody.
That's
here
right.
At one of these things. Last year we were televising it for everyone.
We were.
So anyway, all right. Well, let's take a break. We are at halftime here at Titan Stadium. The Lee Summit West Titans on top of the Park Hill Trojans, 21-0 is our halftime score. Back with more coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Back Porch Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area high school athletics.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
It started when a friend asked an ex-cop a simple question.
Got a gun?
Unfortunately, almost nothing is as simple as it may seem. Soon, David Allen Crockett found himself in a world he thought he'd left behind. A world of murder, deceit, treachery, and the possibility of the finest love he would ever know. All he had to do was survive. Don't miss Call Me Crockett, the new novel from David Lewis. Available from Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and select Borders bookstores.
We are back live here at Titan Stadium at halftime as the Lee Summit West Titans on top of the Park Hill Trojans, 21-0 our halftime score. Some of your other scores from around the state. Kansas hasn't gotten started yet. That will be next week. But over in Liberty, Blue Springs and Liberty are knotted up at 14. That's a halftime score there. And for some reason, it doesn't give me anywhere near as much pleasure to give the Boonville score out this year. I mean, Pleasant Hill is winning 70-3.
No way.
No. I all it says on this is, actually it's funny because it says Boonville 3 and then it has no score
for Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, I'm assuming that means it's 0, but I don't really know. The others where somebody has 0, it says 0. This one just has dots. I don't know what that means. But anyway, so a little bit closer into town, though. Staley is at home against Columbia Rockbridge on top 7-3. That's a halftime score there as well. Let's see what else we got. Lee Summit North, 28-0 over Blue Springs South. North's going to be a good team this year. Blue Springs South still trying to rebuild, it looks like.
That they are.
Liberty North in Bentonville, Arkansas. Bentonville on top, 15-7. How about what's Liberty North doing playing Bentonville?
Well, they had an open date on the schedule. And I've got an update score on that. It's 29-10 over the Tigers over Liberty North.
Okay. Bentonville's always got a good team.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. That's Greg Jones spent a lot of time down in Arkansas early in his career coaching, so I think he's got some connections down there, and he likes taking those long road trips. It prepares those kids for the state tournament playoff games.
Lee Summit High School, 21-6 over Oak Park. That's a second quarter score. And for those Park Hill fans, or at least Park Hill District fans, Park Hill South on top of Platte County, 14-7. That's a second quarter score there as well. Raytown 21-7 over North Kansas City. Raytown South and Belton are scoreless. How about this? Richmond and Lathrop 2-0 in the second quarter.
Defensive battle there, man.
Might be a baseball score. I'm not sure.
There you go.
Halftime over at Ray-Pec, Rockhurst on top of Raymore Peculiar, 14-0 the score there. Excelsior Springs on top of Savannah, 7-6.
You got the Smithville Green Valley score.
28-0 just before the half is what I've got.
I'll be honest with you, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Green Valley looked pretty good against Lee Summit West last Friday night at the Jamboree. They look like they had some pretty good athletes. That's you wonder if there had been some turnovers early.
Maybe Smithville's really good.
They could be.
St. Joe Central 7. I'm assuming 7-0 over Fort Osage. The same dots are there for Fort O.
That's a COVID game where they had to shuffle schedules to have two teams that could play.
Hoping we wouldn't see that this year.
You and me both.
St. Pius 20-7 over Pembroke Hill. And the battle of we can letter anybody we want for anything.
Yeah.
That goes back to my old days as a hockey player. When, since Missouri doesn't recognize, in St. Louis even, they don't recognize hockey as a state sport.
Right. Club sport, right?
Yeah, you can play. Yeah, so they have mid-states in St. Louis. There's 130 teams or something.
Right.
In mid-states, and nowadays, at the time I played back in the Stone Age, there was still about 30 teams then, and it was it wasn't like it was, and you were playing for your school,
right?
But still, you couldn't. I mean, you could get a letter for bowling, but you couldn't get one for hockey. Which I always thought was kind of dumb. But if you went to a private school, they can letter anybody they want.
There you go.
Anytime they
want. So you played in the era where helmets were not required, right?
Let's say yes. So that's a look at some of the other scores.
Right, did you see the Harrisonville score? I don't know what team they're playing. It's somebody out of state, but they're up 22-14.
Okay.
Let's see, another score that I saw was William Chrisman's over Winnetonka, 10-0 at half. Grandview's up 6-0 over Truman. Truman was at the Jamboree last week for the where the Titans perform. Yeah, there's it's always fun when Missouri gets onto the schedule a week before Kansas and
well, remember a few years ago we were 2 weeks ahead.
Yes, we were.
Because then we played them.
Yep.
And we were way ahead of them.
Yeah,
in terms of
and that won't happen anymore because the governor of Missouri made the rule that you can't start school. The public schools can't start school until the state fair's over. So, that's going to keep it later in the year.
Yeah, the William Chrisman score 16-0 over Winnetonka is at halftime. West Platte 24-7 over Lone Jack, and Harrisonville is playing Wayne Hills, New Jersey, according to this.
That could be who it is.
It says 2-0. 3:42 to go in the second quarter, and you can look up the game stats if you want.
Woo.
All right, well, here the teams are back out on the field, and we're just about set to go for the second half of play. 21-0. Good question is, what kind of team for the Trojans shows up for the second half? It's opening week, but you're down by 3 scores. You're going to get the football to start things off. I think a lot will be said, in what happens in this first series.
If I were the Titans, I'd have my helmet strap on tight because Park Hill's not going to give up. You're going to have to discourage them.
All right, we'll be back for the second half kickoff coming up after this. on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage, 810varsity.com.
We are back here at Titan Stadium at Lee Summit West High School. Joel Becker and Mark Files, Lee Summit West and Park Hill. The Titans on top of the Trojans 21-0 as we're about set to go for the second half of play. As we mentioned before, Park Hill won the toss and deferred, so they'll get the ball here to start things off in the second half of play once we finally get going. The sun is down, so things should hopefully cool off a little bit.
Down to 92.
I was going to say, we still haven't felt a whole lot different.
Check, it's 85 now.
Okay.
According to the Weather Channel.
That's I've been on my radio show. I've been trying to, we've had heat advisories, and the heat advisory, wasn't extended to today, and I just had to say, let me advise you, it's still going to be hot. The kick will come down right at the goal line, and he's going to take it out up the right side, and he's got a bit of a hold to the 20-25 and out of bounds across the 30. Pretty good return there by Noel on the Peacock kickoff. It was right to the goal line, but never did quite go all the way in. So good field position to start things off here for the Trojans.
That's a nice return there by Noel. Getting right there on that goal line. If you're covering on that kick, you got to keep going full speed, 100% effort, because if you let up just a little bit, that creates that seam, and then guess what happens? He picks up an extra 11 yards beyond that 20-yard line start point.
So 1st and 10 from the 31. As Kedrick Bell from the shotgun trips on the left side. Noel is to his left as well, one man on the right. Looks to the sideline for the play. On 1st and 10, it'll be a delayed give up the middle, Noel, and he gains about a yard, maybe 2. It'll be 2nd down. Like I said, a big series here for both teams, for the Titans defense and Park Hill offense, to kind of set the tone for the second half.
Most definitely. And that's great to see that front three for the Titans make that play and stop that run for a short gain.
On 2nd and 8. Once again, they look to the left side. They'll swap Noel over to the right slot area. So we've got trips on the left, twins on the right. Play clock down to 8 as Bell goes back to the shotgun with the empty backfield. And he drops the snap, picks it up, tries to get up the middle. He's hit and tackled. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even gained a yard, if that. We'll call it no gain, and it'll be 3rd down and 8 from there. Just a drop snap.
Nice reaction by Ramsey in there to hold that to a little gain or no gain at all.
Sometimes broken plays like that can go a long way if it catches the defense off guard. So like you said, you always have to continue to keep your assignments no matter what happens.
I know this is week 1, Joel, but I really like the way the defensive secondary's played, as is the defensive line for the Titans. They're communicating well, and they are playing hard and thinking less, which is the right thing to do.
Bunch formation, and on play action, rolling out left, throwing left side, incomplete. Good penetration. The intended receiver was Tommy Clark. And it'll be 4th down and a 3-and-out punting situation, which is exactly what the Titans defense wanted to see.
That is exactly what you wanted to see, is discourage the Trojans early.
Titans.
Nice coverage there by Sweeney, by the way.
Titans finally send somebody back, Haney, for this kick, and now we get a flag. There may be 12 men on the Titans.
What do you call a timeout? They get the 12 man, pick the flag up.
They are picking it up, it looks like.
They got the timeout.
Yeah, It looks like they are going to call timeout as the Titans had some confusion, and that's more week one hair pulling for the coaching staff.
Well, it is, and you know, you look at the numbers on the jerseys of the kids that are out there, and they're your upperclassmen. I mean, they're still your playmakers. You know, it's your seniors and junior starters. So you got to make sure you got the right responsibilities out there. They go over that on Thursday afternoon in practice as responsibilities. And you know, if you get caught drinking a water bottle and you should be on the field, you got to keep your ears and head on a swivel, and so you know what's going on. So you're supposed to be on the field when your number's called.
Is that why so many football coaches are math majors, so that they can count to 11?
Well, I don't know too many math majors that are coaches. It's the homework. It's the homework, man. It's the homework. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
You know, Sterling does a little bit with the math classes. I'm sure. I know he does that. But
I'm still waiting for the Chiefs to call me for a job. Trying to decide when to call timeout and all that sort of stuff.
You want to be the timeout coach, the special assistant to the coach on timeout.
I just want to get a big pay raise, and I'm sure that if they paid me as a coach, even for that, it would be
a nice high 5-figure, 6-figure salary. You could do that, right?
Yeah, especially for 20 work days a year. The punt is a bit short, coming up and making the catch. Haney, and he breaks a tackle across midfield inside the 40, down inside the 30, could go all the way, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Titans. Brian Haney. He bobbled it when he first got it, but managed to hang on, broke one tackle, and then off to the races.
Brian Haney is your track kid in the spring, and he showed you that 200-meter speed, getting up the sidelines and breaking away from the Trojans. Nice return. And again, the special teams is that third phase of the game. They're doing a great job tonight to support the total team effort.
Well, and again, if you were the Titans and you wanted to script something out, 3 and out and a punt return for a touchdown to give it a 28-0 lead, as Hannah's kick is up and good. We have played 1:58 of the third quarter, and the Titans are one touchdown away to getting the clock running here in the second half. How about that? 28-0 our score. Back with more. The kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area high school athletics.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker and Mark Files, Lee Summit West, all over Park Hill, 28-0. Titans over the Trojans, just underway in the third quarter. And, whether it is special teams on either side of the ball, especially the punt situation, is always a tough situation because, if you're the guy running down the field looking to make a tackle, you have to be aware of whether or not the guy that's catching the ball ever put his arm up for a fair catch, because if you go cream him, then you get a penalty when you do that. But you can't, watch him the whole time, because you also have to see what's in front of you and who's going to be blocking and where you're supposed to go. And I wonder how many people, thought that Haney had previously caught, because a lot of times those high short kicks, as Peacock will send one down to about the 3, maybe 4. And Noel up the right side at the 20-25. He's hit and tackled at the 25-yard line. And the Trojans will take over. But I wonder how many, you got this high short kick. And 9 times out of 10 in a situation like that, a returner is going to pull his arms up and, call for the fair catch. So that what happened, dangerously, he bobbled the ball. And, if somebody would have happened to hit him while that was happening, he never would have been able to hang on to it. But nobody touched him. And he happened to hang on and then took it to the house.
Well, Joel, what they did was they all didn't break down around him. They all slowed down around him, which allowed Haney to keep the momentum and that full-speed play and just broke through that first line of defense. I mean, he did his job. He beat the first 2 men down. After that, it's a wide-open field.
1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 25. went 3 and out on their first drive of the second half. A man in motion, and it is a toss to him. The tight end trying to come around, hit and tackled as he got near the line of scrimmage. Probably no gain on the play for Tommy Clark. He's technically a wide receiver, sophomore, big kid.
He is.
It looks like a tight end.
I tell you what, they've got a lot of good size at the receiver position.
They're going to call it a loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11. Ball's at the 24.
Park Hill's well coached. I mean, the turnovers have killed them tonight, but the kids are doing things right, and you can just see that they are well coached and well prepared.
On play action, Bell tossing it on the near side. At that time looking for his actual tight end, Jake Powell, but overthrew him. Being chased. The Titans have done a pretty good job of getting penetration into the backfield and hurrying Bell when he's gone back to throw.
And they have. And again, first year with a new coach, implementing a new system, though it's probably similar to what they ran last year. It's new terminology. And the coach is in the process of instilling the new way to play Trojan football. You look at their roster, they've got a ton of sophomores on this ball club. So the future looks bright for the Trojans.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, as we're going to get a timeout, looks like from Park Hill, as Coach Sims apparently saw something he didn't like from his offense or from the Titan defense. But I wouldn't be at all surprised. I mean, this is the first game of the year.
Right.
And, we've seen this in the past where we have played a team in the first, week of the year and just manhandled them, and then later on, had a much tougher time when you see them in the playoffs, which may or may not happen. But Park Hill has definitely got the horses to be able to, become a formidable team this year.
Most definitely. And over the years, we've seen the Titans start the season off with the Trojans, and we always have said, and Coach Bain said this, and Coach Carswell said this as well, if you're going to catch the Trojans, you want to catch them early, because they do get better each week, and they get stronger, and if you have to run into them in one of the levels of the playoffs, it's not going to be the same team you played them in week 1 and 2.
Yeah. Although sometimes you would think that would mean you want to run into them later in the year so you know what you're going to get in the playoffs.
You know what? It's tough to beat a team twice in the same season, and the way that the Class 6 is built, unfortunately, you cross paths with a lot of these same teams that you play in the conference and out of conference in the playoffs, in the district playoffs.
3rd down, 11. Empty backfield. Bell and a blitz. He'll roll away from it, but he's caught from behind and knocked down. Gain of a couple on the play as Ely got over and caught him from behind. And it'll set up a second straight punting situation for the Trojans, already down 28-0.
Joel, I really like the way that the seniors on this defense are playing with confidence. Last year they played hard, but they were still thinking. They weren't quite sure of their responsibilities. Tonight, there's no doubt where they're supposed to be. They're doing a great job.
High snap. Powell gets it down. Line drive kick. Might have gotten a finger on it, somebody. Haney won't be able to take this one back to the house, though, as it will come to a rest at about the 37, 38-yard line, and the Titans will take over 1st and 10 from their own 37, and we'll see their offense for the first time in the half with 8:32 left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
It'll be interesting to see who comes out at quarterback.
This is going to be Heil. As we're going to get our water break for this quarter right now with 8:32 left to go.
Good time for a little water break.
Only if you mean pour it all over you.
That's not always a good idea, because that leads to some of that crazy cramping that you can have.
I'm not talking about them.
Oh, no, here you go. Slopping water on you there, buddy.
Yes, it's not like I have electronic equipment all over me or anything.
No.
We've been through that before.
Yes, we have.
St. Joe Benton.
Oh my.
On the roof.
Oh my.
In the rainstorm.
In the rainstorm, and everything was metal around us.
All right, 1st and 10 Titans from their own 37. Heil will give. Surratt trying to go right up the middle. Gains too close to the 40. Pickup of a couple. Looks like they only gave him the 39, so let's call it 2nd and 8. Clock running with under 8:15 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Titans on top 28-0. And looks like we saw Heil for one play, but now Hines looks like he's going to take the snap and trying to go to the right side after a fake to Surratt. Got around the tackle, but no more than a yard on the play. It'll set up a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7, from just shy of the 40-yard line.
That's all about putting something on film that next week opponents have to look for and prepare for.
Unlike this week, where we didn't get any film.
We got 12 plays of the scrimmage, of their inter-squad scrimmage.
I told Vinny it was like the old days when you were actually waiting for actual film.
Yes, yes.
And you had the Staleys of the world putting 3-inch lettering on their, or numbering on their jerseys.
Yes.
Back to throw. Heil trying to throw on the screen, but that was sniffed out very well by the Trojans and Sammy Hall. No gain on the play. And the Titans will have to punt it away. If there's one thing that the Trojans can really take a certain amount of solace in, is that this game's a lot closer than a 28-0 score would indicate, in that the Titans have managed to get 21 out of the 28 points out of turnovers. Not directly, but one way or another. So Sweeney standing back at his own 23. Oh, a bad motion. Yeah, bad snap, and Sweeney needs to try and get rid of it, and he's going to get knocked down, and that's going to basically work as a turnover against, and puts the Trojans in scoring position. The first real big break for Park Hill. Yeah, and it looked to me like Sweeney wasn't even expecting the snap when it happened, and I'm not so sure that it didn't hit something on the way back to him.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, we had 2 guys in motion running on the field while there wasn't an illegal procedure called.
Well, there might have been, but I'm pretty sure they declined it if they would have been.
Well, they most definitely would have done that, but still.
Yeah, there was that play was just confusion all the way around. And obviously the Titans didn't want to put themselves in this situation here.
Poor Sweeney gets a minus 16 yards on that play.
Yeah. There should be like special stats for things like that.
There are. I'll fix it for him tomorrow.
All right. Bunch formation. Trojans. And Bell will throw to Noel, and he drops the ball. Probably wouldn't have gone for too much as a good step up on the play by, I believe that was Bowers. No, I take it back. That was actually McGrew who stepped up on the play.
McGrew's done a good job tonight.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe Noel heard the footsteps coming or not, but go down as an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Ball on the 16-yard line. Bell, empty backfield. Trips on the left, Twins on the right. Back to throw, looking left side. He kicks out, throws over the middle. It's caught, hit, and tackled pretty much immediately to his tight end, Powell. It'll set up a 3rd down and relatively short, 3rd and about maybe 3. Let's call it 4.
Come back in that quick set move.
Going hurry up. Again, trips on the right, this time Twins on the left. Bell from the shotgun, back to throw on the quarterback keeper, going up the middle, and he's going to be close. Looks like he did get a 1st down. It'll set up a 1st and goal from right about the 5-yard line, just outside the 5.
Spotted it on the 6, right by the stick.
Yeah. They keep telling him to move, and now they do. 1st and goal. Clock is running, coming up on 5.5 minutes left to go. It's the 3rd quarter, of course. Trojans trying to get on the board. If this is this 4-down territory, would you actually kick a field goal if you got to it?
No, you're down 28 points. You got to try to score a touchdown.
Back to throw, Heil near side trying the screen. It was sniffed out very well, and a good tackle in the open field by Brian Haney coming up from the cornerback position. He caught up with the receiver Max Fillion, and it was a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 7.
Nice play by Haney. He is really adapting to that defensive side of the ball. You know, last year he was playing receiver.
And we're going to get a timeout by the Trojans. That's already their 2nd timeout of the, or is that, no, it's West that called the timeout.
Actually, this is the 2nd timeout for the Trojans.
Okay, it is. Was it the Trojans who called it? Or
yeah, well, both, the Trojans called the timeout, as did West. They called.
No,
it,
I meant
so.
for this one. Was that a Trojan timeout or a West timeout? I thought it was a West.
Was it a West timeout?
Well, I thought he pointed that way, although sometimes they can get confused. I'm waiting for him to do it on the clock so we know.
On the board. I think they're getting ready to
I'm not sure they know.
Yeah.
But it could be West because they could have thought, saw something that where there was a hole in their defense. Clock is stopped with 4:50 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Okay, you convinced me. I'll give the timeout to West.
Yeah, looks like that's what the score clock has done.
Yeah, they took it all the way down to 1.
Yeah,
okay.
That was their 2nd time out of this half already.
Coach cares
well. Well, they're in the position where they're the ones that don't need it as much.
Right. I think this was a defensive coach's opportunity to make sure everybody was focused on what their responsibilities are here at the goal line.
2nd down and goal from the 7. Bell from the shotgun has Noel with him on the right side. Trips on the left. He looks toward the left. He'll throw over the middle. It is caught. Oh, big hit. Woo. And the ball came loose, but it was fallen on at the last second by Tommy Clark. Boy, huge hit right up the middle. Ramsey with the huge stick there. And it'll set up a 3rd and goal from the 5. It'll end up being a gain of 2. In the NFL, they might have had to review that to see whether it was actually a catch or not. In other words, by the time he dropped it, I don't know. Back to throw. And rushed up the middle. Oh, good job by Bell to escape. Now he'll throw end zone, and it is bobbled and incomplete.
Dropped.
Well, we're going to find out whether or not they're thinking, should we at least get some points? Because to have to come away with nothing if they did would be a huge heartbreaker.
That was a nice job by Bell to scramble and get open.
Yeah, he really should have been sacked for a big loss. He tried to find Tommy Clark there and then almost Ely on the tip drill. So Bell with an empty backfield. Bunched on the right. One man wide out on the left. Single coverage over there. He looks that way. Now he looks up the middle. He's going to run it, and he's hit into the end zone. Touchdown.
Oh.
Boy, Bell bounced off the hit and managed to cross the plane. It was close. But the referee on the line judge or side judge on that side immediately with the arms up, and the Trojans on the board 28-6 to the chagrin of the home crowd.
Nice job by Bell running up the field there to get in the end zone. That's when you tell your defensive backs and linebackers, you just don't hit them, you stick them in wrap and drive them through the man. That way he doesn't bounce off and get in the end zone.
Extra point attempt, snap back, ball down, kick up high, long, and it is good. 4:01 to go here in this 3rd quarter of play. The Trojans finally get on the scoreboard. They trail at 28-7 to the Titans. Back with a kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backboard Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area high school athletics.
We We are back at Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West, and Park Hill. Titans on top of the Trojans. 28-7 is our score with 4:01 to go in the third quarter. Well, I was hoping to get that 35-point difference and get the clock running here in the second half. And we almost had it. We almost had the turnover there because there was a fumble. But it just happened to go right to another Trojan player.
Nice job by the offensive lineman that fell on it, man.
Would have been interesting. It was actually a receiver or tight end.
Was it? They got on it?
Yeah, 89.
I knew he was a big guy.
Yeah, big kid. But so only the second time in the entire game the Titans receiving a kickoff.
Holy crap, guys.
Which they're trying to get the right number of players on the field.
Well, I think they put the hands guys up front on the kickoff return.
Yeah, they are.
The short yardage, looking for an onside kick.
And we'll see if they get one. Instead, it's sort of a pooch kick coming up and at about the 19. And coming up the near sideline across the 30, 35, 40. Still on his feet. Inside the 35 down to about the 33. A great return there by Jaden Hines. Managing to tightrope the inbound line on the near side, and the Titans with great field position try and get the score back. They were 3 and out on their only other offensive possession this half.
Nice effort on the kickoff return, and the best part was he caught the ball in the air, which gave him the opportunity. He caught it in a dead run and allowed him to juke past that first line of defense, which got him up the sideline.
It's always weird when you try the sort of pooch kicks where you're going over the hands team but getting it, so far up that the deep backs can't get to it, but that wasn't quite the case here.
Well,
or put enough air under it that your team can get down there.
Joel, I mean, years past with the Titans, I mean, it's been an adventure when we've seen pooch kicks like that. I mean, they've dropped, hit the ground, they're bouncing around, it gets crazy.
Mayo is the back. He'll get the call. Left tackle, breaks the tackle inside the 20, down to the 10, and dragged down at the 5-yard line as David Mayo, with his best run of the night by far, gives the Titans a 1st and goal from inside the 10, about the 6.
Mayo loves to get out in the open. Once he gets there, then it is a race for the goal line, and he does a nice job of juking those defensive backs.
He'll stay in the pistol behind Heil. 1st and goal, Titans. Trying to retake a 4-score lead. As they'll give it to Mayo up the middle, big hole, and he does get across the 5 down to the 4. Hole did close up in a hurry. Had somewhere to run to start with, but didn't get to it quite as quick as we were hoping.
That's where I like to see those running backs get in there and make contact and then give a spin move instead of taking those 4, 5, 6 steps and going 5 yards laterally, going east-west. And keep moving forward, gentlemen.
A.J. Sims comes in as an H-back, a fullback. He'll line up behind Ford on the left side. Mayo will go that direction. Oh, and he lost the football. It looked like he dropped on it, but there's flags coming in holding areas.
Exactly what I thought.
We'll see what kind of, unless there was some sort of chop block or something. Holding is the call against the Titans. So that'll set it up a 2nd and about 14, 2nd and goal from the 14 or so. Take it back, it's all the way to the 17.
Yeah, it looked like they had that hold on the 7-yard line, didn't they?
Yeah, well, it's a spot foul, of course.
Foul, yeah.
So, Titans did this to themselves one other time earlier in the game where they had a goal situation and pushed it out to the 30 and then scored.
Yep.
Empty backfield, a direct snap, and actually looks like wanting to throw but nowhere to throw it. And so getting what he could was Jaden Hines again. And he picks up about 2. It'll set up a 3rd and goal from the 15. Now, unlike the Trojans, the Titans are probably in a situation where they'd be happy to try a field goal if they can't get it in. Clock running with 2:23 left to go in the third quarter. Lee Summit West on top 28-7. Third down and goal from the 15-yard line. Heil back in at quarterback, excuse me. He's got Mayo behind him. Man in motion and on the play action, rolling right side. He'll throw it. Coble to the 10. Coble inside, trying to cut across the field. He's hit and tackled. They should give him to about the 7, but it looks like they're going to give him only the 9. It's not a very good mark as far as forward progress is concerned, but
I would have liked to seen Heil get that ball in Coble's hands a little bit quicker.
Yeah,
so
well,
work. I know he was looking for the.
I was going to say, I don't
but
think he was. Brock was his check down receiver, and he was trying to avoid going there because he didn't think he could get in the end zone, which he probably couldn't have. So this just sets up a field goal opportunity. 26 yards out, Hannah. Just inside the right hash mark. The kick is up, and it is good. A minute 16 left to go in the third quarter of play, and the Titans extend their lead. 31-7 is our score. We'll take a break and come back with the kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker and Mark Files. Lee Summit West and Park Hill. The Titans on top of the Trojans. 31-7 our score. We're minute 16 left to go in the third quarter. 26-yard field goal by Grayson Hanna, his first in as many attempts so far this year.
Kicking with a lot of confidence. Remember last year it was kind of an adventure, but yeah, he's really got a lot of confidence and a nice job tonight putting the ball through the uprights.
Will Peacock does the kickoff kicking, and he'll send one to the goal line. And Noel coming up the right side across the 20, 25 to the 30, 35. And he's hit and tackled. There's a flag down. He gets up to about the 37, 38. This one may be coming back, though. Either an illegal block or a hold, I would imagine. It'll come back to, boy, there's two flags down, actually. One at the 35 and one back at the 27 or 28. So assuming they're both on the kicking or the receiving team, they should take the one further back.
Holding against the Trojans.
Although I think they're both the same flag, it looks like now, because they're putting them on the same spot. So holding the call, it'll send them back to the 25, where the Trojans will take over 1st and 10. They got points last time on offense with a very, very short field after a muffed punt attempt as the snap back to the punter barely found its way to him. But we'll see what the Trojans can do here coming off of their first productive offensive drive anyway. Minute 8 left to go in the third quarter.
Two backs in the backfield, not a new formation.
Well, for the moment anyway. It's the other one's really the H-back that they've been using, and it's a give to Noel up the middle. Nowhere to go, but he breaks away from the tackle, still on his feet across the 30 and hit and tackled at the 33.
Nice
Pretty
tackle.
decent, open field tackle that time by McGrew, but they should have had him at the line and just let him go somehow. He was able to pick up about 7-8 yards out of nothing. 2nd down and 2. They give it to him again, trying to find room up the middle. This time he's taken down. No gain, maybe a half a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and short. You would think they would be doing their hurry up at this situation down as much as they are.
Well, you know, they did the hurry up early in the first half, the no huddle.
Yeah.
Quick guns. And
looks to me like they may not bother to run another play this quarter, which is interesting. There was plenty of time to get one off if they wanted to. It's down to 10 seconds left to go, but they've gone to the sideline. So that's going to do it for the third quarter of play. 12 minutes of football left to go. Titans on top 31-7. Back with fourth quarter coming up after this. On Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area high school athletics.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker and Mark Files. Lee Summit West, Park Hill. Titans on top of the Trojans 31-7 as we start the fourth quarter of play. It'll be third down and a yard, if that. Ball's at the 34. They need the 35. What do you make of Park Hill not getting another playoff there at the end of the quarter?
I think that's just a coaching moment. I mean, I think there's things they want to work on.
Yeah.
They're not.
But does that indicate almost conceding?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a opportunity to coach, to get better, so that you can use this opportunity to work for next week.
It is a big play on 3rd and 1. They need to get this first down here. And it's going to be Bell tossing it right side, caught, and a first down on a good catch and run that time by P.J. Caldwell.
Nice job by P.J. to beat two men to get that first down.
First and 10 for the Trojans from their own 37. Bell directing traffic, sends 3 receivers out on the left, 2 on the right. Empty backfield, at least for the moment, with Noel in the slot on the right. From the shotgun. Takes the snap, a quick throw, and it's Caldwell again. Oh, up that seam, hit and tackled from behind, but not before he gets into Titan territory down at the 47-yard line. Let's call it the 46. First and 10 in Titan territory.
That's that play, Joel, we were talking about on that 3-3 stack, Oklahoma-style defense. That's the week point. You know,
well, I was just going to say that if you were talking about what people might be able to look at in film, and for the Titans' next opponent, that might be something that they will try and exploit. So obviously the defense will need to be working on that as they throw it to Noel, and a great job coming up Miller from the linebacker position to close the gap and knock him down for no gain on the play, maybe even a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
That was a nice play by Miller.
Just anticipating. They'll send 4 receivers out on the left side, 1 on the right. Noel is in that closest slot position. We'll see if he comes back in the backfield here. He'll stay where he is. Empty backfield for Bell. Takes the snap. He'll throw over the middle, and it is caught. Great job to hang on to it. Slow, though, in getting up. Noel does pop up, and he looks like he's okay. Big hit on the play, but no gain. 3rd down and 10. Well, if somebody gets popped pretty hard, a Fredrickson might be
involved. Now, the nice part was he got up and he celebrated the hit, but he was running away from the play, because that's one of the focus points is they want to eliminate that taunting this year in high school football and the unsportsmanlike celebration. So nice job by Fredrickson to get away from that.
Bell back to throw. He's getting the pressure. He'll roll to his left, throws. He gets his tight end, but well shy of a first down. Probably 4-down territory, though. Gets inside the 40 to the 39 on the pass to Jake Powell. It'll set up a 4th down and about 3. Trojans come up to the line. They'll send 4 receivers out to the right side. 4th down and 3. Empty backfield again for Bell. Looking to the sideline for the play. Quads on the right, 1 man on the left. Now he's got his play. Takes the snap. He'll throw over the middle. It's incomplete. And the Trojans will turn it over on downs. That was just an inaccurate throw. I'm not sure if he would have had him for a first down or not. It would have been close. If he made the catch, he could have potentially gotten the first down. But
it was just a nice job by Sweeney staying home, covering his zone, and keeping the man wrapped up and not giving him a big target to throw to. You know, we talked last week, you know, West went and scrimmaged against 3 other teams in the Jamboree. Park Hill elected to stay home, and they did an inter-squad scrimmage. So I really think being able to go to those Jamborees and hitting another opponent in a different colored jersey really is beneficial. Even if you're just getting 10 to 12 plays on offense and defense, it's still a different look and gives you an opportunity to run at a full tempo speed.
here is Surratt on the first down give. Winds his way up the middle. Pickup of almost 9 from the 39 to the 48. Call it a 2nd down and 1. Clock is running with 8:05 left to go in regulation time, and the Titans on top 31-7. Good run by Surratt there. Is intended to go over right tackle, and he cut inside and picked up about an extra 6 yards.
I was going to see how many yards he's got on the ground, see if it's not time to move him to the sidelines and start running some of those younger guys, save those legs.
Well, they had Mayo in the last series, and we're going to get a false start call, it looks like, before that play goes off. So that'll negate most of a good run by Surratt. And a 2nd and 1 will become a 2nd and 6. Stops the clock with 7:42 left to go. I've never seen a 7-yard penalty, have you?
Yeah, that was kind of interesting the way they counted that off, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, the ball was at the 48. I guess it is pretty close to where it was.
Surratt's got 64 yards on the night on 13 carries.
There he goes again up the middle. This time it's a gain of 2. It'll set up a 3rd down and 4. Clock now running under 7:20 left to go.
The young quarterbacks have done a nice job of managing the offense tonight. You know, they haven't hit all the plays that they want to, but, you know, when they've got under pressure, they took sacks instead of just throwing the ball up wildly, which is a starting point. You want to see them be a little bit more aggressive throwing the ball downfield, and that'll come with time.
Well, here's our first trick play as the offensive line scoots to the right side, and they hand off to Surratt. And he gets about a yard. It'll set up a 4th down. Well, all that shimmying for nothing. But like you said, something to give somebody something to look at.
That's right. Well, and it's also, you know, the kids look forward to that play during the week. I mean, after a hard week of practice, especially as hot as it's been, they look forward to that little change of pace or that little trickery that Coach Edwards likes to put out there.
So Sweeney back. He's overall had a pretty good night with the exception of the 1 snap. This is high, but he steps into it very high, end over end short kick. Will bounce straight out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. And that's where the Trojans will take over with half a quarter left to go. And I believe we're going to get our water break timeout. Cool. Clear in the 4th quarter. Where are we next week?
Next week we are at the Blue Springs South.
Okay.
So Blue Springs South is getting a dose of Lee Summit North, and then get a dose of Lee Summit West.
Ooh, tough start to their season, eh?
It is.
I was gonna say I'm only gonna go places that have elevators this year.
Well, that one's ground level.
But that's
right?
what I was gonna say.
Off the parking lot.
The nice thing is that you can actually get to at least where they usually put us.
Yes. Out on the veranda.
Yeah. Well, this time of year that won't be too bad, and you know, it's better for us for COVID's sake anyway, right?
That's right.
You fully vaccinated?
I am. Whatever that means.
Me too.
Whatever that means.
It means you've had your vaccinations.
I don't, it gives you a 49% to 68% chance of staying healthy. So
I think it's better than that for staying healthy. So it depends on your definition of what healthy is. 1st and 10 from the 39. And it'll be a zone read, and Bell's going to keep it himself. Gets hit and tackled up at the 45. Nice little open field tackle, but a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Tell you what, Bell's going to be sore in the morning.
Yeah.
He's going to get up and get moving early. Get those bumps and bruises loosened up.
You can do that when you're young.
Yes, you can. You can do it when you're old, too.
No, you can't. When you're in your 50s, even a week and a half later, you're still feeling them. 2nd down and 4. It's a give to Noel up the middle. He'll pick up near the 1st down. I believe he did get it up near midfield. It should be enough to move the chains. 1st and 10. Clock is running, 5:15 left to go in regulation time. We've talked about this before. It's the one thing that kids just don't get when talking to older people.
Yeah.
Is what it is to be older.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't believe you.
Yeah.
And it's it's not that they're not listening or anything like that. They just have no frame of reference.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been accused of having a mind of a 18-year-old. But physically, there ain't no way.
Run off left tackle that time for a pair. Noel on the carry into Titan territory to be 2nd and 8. But it's just like I said. I mean, you can tell them it's just. It's not the same when you wake up in the morning and you're still, feeling in pain and things don't just heal overnight for you. And say, I mean, they listen and they believe you, but they just have no idea what that actually means.
Yeah,
Like I said, they have no frame of reference.
It's a 10 to 15 minute stretching session before you even put your feet on the floor.
It's like trying to explain to a fish what it's like to be out of the water. Run up the middle. First time we had a little bit of pushing after a play. Under 4 minutes left to go. I was thinking about that, that's got to be the closest thing fish have to a near-death experience is when they're ice fishing and, get pulled out. I saw a big bright light.
Yeah.
And all my dead relatives were up there. And then I heard a voice by a man in flannel saying, "It is not your time." Bell on the keeper. And he picks up about 3, but he's going to be shy of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down, about a yard.
Well, it doesn't have to be just ice fishing. It can be
any kind of fishing.
Any kind of fishing. Bring them up on the deck of the boat, and they flop around, and you toss them back in. Then you got that one fish that you get right to the edge of the boat, and you want to keep him, and you try to get him in, and he breaks the line and takes off. He escapes. Goes back and tells his buddies around the water cooler how he beat you that day.
That's right. Ooh, nice play there defensively by the linebacker Sweeney. And that was on a 4th down play, so the Titans will take over on downs for the 2nd straight time with 2:49 left to go. I think goes back to his buddies with a hook in his mouth and
my souvenir,
saying that they were looking to have him probed. And He escaped.
He escaped.
And then nobody believes him when he gets back. So it looks like we are getting some changes. Mayo on the carry up the middle. Maybe a yard or two as he got the handoff from Harden. 2.5 minutes and counting.
I think it's safe to say Coach Carswell is going to be happy with the ball control offense tonight.
I would say so. Not too much to complain about in this game. There, like I said, a couple of holes to be corrected.
Yeah, and then getting the right personnel on the field for special teams. I mean, that's a couple of places.
That's a yearly thing.
It is.
Every year, first game seems like that happens. Mayo, right side, cuts up. Well, one thing they will be talking to David about is protecting that football. Yeah.
Saw the same thing, carrying it like a
loaf of bread. The old Terry Metcalf, St. Louis football Cardinals.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Boy, he was a great little running back, wasn't he? He was fun to watch. Well, the Chiefs were terrible when I was a kid. You couldn't see the game on TV. You got the Cardinals and whoever they were playing.
Yeah.
From the old Busch Stadium.
Jim Hart.
Jim Hart, the quarterback. That's right. Deerdorf.
Looked like he was
Conrad
about 12.
Dobler.
Harden to give again. Mayo trying to find his way up the middle. They'll be shy of a first down. It'll set up a fourth down about 4 from their own 48. Imagine they'll just run it again here with the clock under a minute left to go. I mean, you could punt it away if you want. They do have one timeout if they wanted to let the clock run down and call it, I suppose. I don't know why you wouldn't go ahead and punt it just to give your punter another chance to, practice the coffin corner or whatever.
They may do it anyway, but they're going to take it down and take that last time out.
They're going to take their timeout with 1 second left on the play clock, which will be about a half a minute left to go, 31.1. I don't know, you could go either way. I mean, fourth down and 4, you can run it and take your chances, and then, if you get the first down, the game's over, and if you don't, then you have to play a few downs. But like I said, this would be a good time in game situations to give your punter a chance to go for a, coffin corner or whatever. Either way, it's fine.
Heck yeah. Hey, we played football, fans in the stands, marching band in their position, the dance team's here, the cheerleaders are here. All in all, it was a good night. Park Hill made it down. They brought about good
and we were able to
showing as fans.
We were able to do it here, too.
And did it, yes. And we were able to do it in the press box.
That's what I mean.
We got to give a shout-out to Jeremy Hubbard, an athletic activities director here at Lee Summit West. He and the staff did yeoman duty, being able to get us into the press box here with a temporary permit so we could do the ball game. They got a little bit of work left to do on the construction here, but thanks for the city of Lee Summit for allowing us to be in the press box to do this game tonight.
Sweeney with a high snap will step into it. Nobody back. Actually, no, they did drop somebody back, Noel, and it will bounce inside the 15 to the 14. So, like we said, is a good practice there for Sweeney trying to get a kickoff. And not to mention also for the long snapper, because, there were a few areas where, we could use a little bit of work.
Right.
Overall, it's been a good game. And like I said, for Park Hill, they can take a little solace in the idea that, they shot themselves in the foot a bit with turnovers, or this would have been a closer game than it was. But if you're looking at, areas to improve, one of them on special teams is the snapping.
Yep.
Because we did have we had a big problem with it on one, that directly led to the one score that Park Hill got. But, even the other ones, there were several times that.
Little low, little high.
Yeah, where I was saying you had to high snap, you had to jump for it or whatever.
But Sweeney is the punter, too, inside the 20-yard line tonight with no return.
Yeah.
That's always good. definitely flipped the field position.
Did a good job. Noel on the give, looking left side, hit and tackled at the 15. That could be the last play. We're down to 15 seconds. I believe it will. So down to 5 seconds. And the Lee Summit West Titans start off the 2021 campaign with a convincing 31-7 win over the Park Hill Trojans. So a good performance pretty much on all three sides of the ball. There's, things to work on, but overall couldn't ask for a better way to start the season than the way they did. We'll take a quick break, wrap things up with our post-game show coming up after this. 31-7 the final score. Titans on top of the Trojans here on Titan Football, a presentation of Backcourt Sports, Beck Rose Productions, and 810varsity.com.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area high school athletics.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
We are back at Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files and Lee Summit West Titan football. The Titans defeating the Park Hill Trojans tonight, 31-7, the final score in the debut of the 2021 Class 6 Misha season here in varsity football. Mark Files has some post-game numbers for you.
I do. Total offense. I would not have guessed this. Park Hill outgained the Titans tonight, 195 yards, but put an asterisk on that because the Titans scored on a punt return and they also scored on a pass interception. So there's two possessions that they lost tonight on offense, but they'll take the scores anytime. The Titans had 127 yards in total offense. Let's go back to Park Hill, the visitors. They ran 57 plays. They averaged 3.4 yards a play. They had 102 yards through the air. They were 18 of 30. And they averaged 5.7 yards a pass attempt and in completion. The Trojans didn't have any touchdowns through the air, and they had the 3 interceptions. They had 93 yards rushing. Kept them under 100 yards, the Titans defense did. That was on 27 attempts. They did average 3.4 yards per carry. Receiving yards, of course, was the 102 on 18 completions. And they had 5 penalties for 30 yards. The 3 turnovers were really the story in this ball game. They punted the ball 3 times, averaged 35.3 yards a punt, and the time of possession was 26 minutes and 10 seconds. As for the Titans, 127 yards of total offense. They ran 40 plays, averaged 3.2 yards per play. They had 38 yards through the air. They were 6 of 9 attempts. They had 6.3 yards passing. They got 1 touchdown. They had 89 yards rushing, 31 on 31 attempts, at 2.9 yards per attempt. 5 penalties for 30 yards for the Titans as well. No turnovers, no interceptions thrown. And Sweeney had 4 punts and averaged 33.5 yards on each punt, and had 2 of them inside of the 20-yard line. Titans had the ball for 21 minutes and 19 seconds. They had 8 first downs, and Park Hill had 14 first downs. The leader for the Titans was Surratt with 67 yards on 15 attempts. And receiving, it was Drew Dickerson with 28 yards on the 1 reception for the touchdown. Go ahead.
Like I said before, it's Park Hill can take a certain amount of solace in that, without the 3 turnovers, this is a much closer game. They may or may not have necessarily won it, and the numbers can be a little misleading in that the Titans didn't need to go very far in a lot of cases to get points, and so they did what they needed to do, and they played the game they needed to play. But at the same time, those numbers are indicative of the fact that this was a closer game.
Right, and they also took take advantage and saw what happened with the Titans. They had the muff on the punt on the long snap, and it gave the Trojans a short field. And so when it's you have that short field, you saw what the Trojans were able to do with the ball.
They did. That was the one time they got their score. Yeah.
So that's what you're looking at.
But
did you make a new friend there? Did you?
So, player of the game.
Oh, player of the game.
It's tough. I think Chase Hamlin would love to play Park Hill every time they suit up. And I think you could make a really good case for him. Like you said, the numbers were not overwhelming for anyone in terms. Surratt played a good game, but 67 yards is not exactly game of the player of the game type numbers, and neither of our quarterbacks did anything that you would say, oh well, that Sure. I think you could really make a pretty good case for Brian Haney.
Yes, you could. And staying on the defensive side of the ball, unofficially, statistics, I've got Wyatt Ramsey with 6.5 tackles. I've got him with 6 solo and 1 assist. We'll go back through and adjust that number tomorrow when we watch the game film back. But it was any time in Class 6, if you can hold a football team under 200 yards in total offense, you've had a good night.
Yeah. Although so did they.
That's right. That's right. And
less than 200 yards and 31 points, though.
Yes, it's a little different.
Yeah. If it's less than 200 yards and less than 7 points or less, I think you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Somebody else we could throw in that mix was Grayson Hanna. I mean, he accounted for 7 points tonight.
Well, he did. Yeah, he did everything he needed to do. I think when all is said and done, you just got to go with Chase. Because if nothing else, what he did was kind of a game changer. His first interception was early enough in the game, and it led to the Titans getting on the board, and and then he got his second one, and he also made some really good plays just defensively in general as well. So that would be where I would go. Although anybody that we mentioned would be deserving.
Yes.
So here's something that somebody will not want to hear. Breaking news out of Pleasant Hill, 53-35 over Boonville.
Ouch.
How about that?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, Liberty on top of Blue Springs, 35-28 is the score there. At least that's the latest I got. Let's see what else we can find for you. Staley 35-3 over Columbia Rockbridge. That was in Staley, so maybe a little bus legs on that first game of the year from from Columbia Rockbridge. That's always tough to have to make a trip across the state to play your first game.
Well, that's halfway across the state, but you are, it is. It's especially, you can imagine being on a bus. I wonder if they'll make shower facilities available for those kids to ride back home.
For Lee Summit North, and for our next opponent, it was a 28-3. Lee Summit North. They didn't technically. There's still another minute and a half left to go in the fourth, but that's pretty much a done deal over there for for North against our next opponent, Blue Springs South. Liberty North dropping to Bentonville, Arkansas, 36-17, the fourth quarter score there. Let's see what else we got. 8-6, North Platte and Gallatin. I just like the score. Yep. I don't know that too many people are staying up late wondering what that was. Lee Summit West and Park Hill, 31-7 for it was our score here. Park Hill South and Platte County, 20-14. Another 8-6 score. This is Polo and Plattsburgh at the half. And how about this one? 6-4, Princeton and Mid Buchanan. That's got to be a baseball score, don't you think?
2 safeties and a touchdown, huh?
So fourth quarter score, Raytown and North Kansas City. Raytown 28-14 over the Hornets. Belton 14-8 over Ray South. We've got Rockhurst and Ray-Pec knotted up at 14 in the fourth quarter. So Ray-Pec coming back in that one.
Ray-Pec is always tough at home.
They definitely are at that. Fordo and St. Joe Central still says 14 to ... I don't know what that means. Summit Christian 40-31 over St. Michael. Pembroke Hill 7 to ... over St. Pius. That's a final. Truman and Grandview, it's 14-0 Grandview, and that's a second quarter score though, so a ways away. Well, this one is not accurate. This says the score in University Academy at Timpton is 20-1. That's not possible.
No, it's not.
So I'm not sure what that's supposed to say. The Harrisonville score is knotted up at 30 between Harrisonville and Wayne Hills, New Jersey. How about that? West Platte 42-14 over Lone Jack, and William Chrisman 23-6 over Winnetonka in a fourth quarter score there. So like I said, we've got the Jags next week from Blue Springs South, and at least based on how Lee Summit North handled them, it looks like the Titans should be able to put on another good show, hopefully.
Yeah, and former Titan player and coach Chris Miller is coaching over at Blue Springs South now, and had a good conversation with him this summer before the season started, and he said that hey, they're young, but they've got some athletes that are buying into the program, and it says it's just all about experience on Friday nights, and we've seen how much better our secondary played tonight compared to the way they were playing last year.
That was a big weakness last year.
Mean, they're playing with a lot more confidence. They're sure with themselves. They know where they are on the field, and they just got a little extra bounce in their step that they otherwise didn't have last year.
As you can see, the Trojans still getting a talking to by their coach Sims after his first game. Lots to go over with this one, apparently.
Well, yeah, there is, and once you get home, those kids are going to get off the bus, and the one thing they're going to do is want to get the heck out of Dodge.
I was just going to say, this is also giving it more time to get cooler before they get on the bus.
Exactly, and you're not going anywhere. Look at the traffic getting out of the parking lot here. Another nice crowd here at Titan Stadium here on the campus of Lee Summit West. It's great to have some normalcy.
Yeah.
3 hours on a Friday night where we can get back and be a little bit normal, and everybody be safe out there, because we want to bring you all the action all season, and
I was going to
make sure we have crowds in the stands every chance we can.
We're happy to do it, and it was great to be back on 810varsity.com and also lswradio.com. We thank you for joining us. The final score once again, 31-7. Titans getting off to a 1-0 record against the Park Hill Trojans tonight here from Titan Stadium. For Mark Files, Joel Becker here on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.